Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Georgia Koth and today I come to you guys with a video regarding mental health and the health of your brain. Now I know that this is actually not a topic that can be addressed in one sitting, and I came up with this gradual way of actually going about it. And so today we are going to speak about ways of identifying or highlighting whether or not you are actually on the verge of getting into depression or you're already into depression. And some of these things are actually things that we look at really tiny and things that don't matter, but they actually do matter. That being said, some of these things that I'm going to highlight are actually things that you'd easily downplay. Why? Because they look normal, or they look like things that wouldn't lead you in any danger zone, or they actually look like things you'd easily get through or get over, but they actually are not. And so let's jump right into it. The first thing to look out for is overreaction. And so by overreaction, I mean things like getting easily aggravated. Very small things make you super angry, or you have people who, when they're actually going through depression, tend to be excessively happy. They tend to be excessively laughing out loud, and what happens with such people is that this is a way for them to actually hide their depression. When they're super excited and acting super happy, and laughing out louder than they normally do, is basically a state in which people get into to protect themselves from people actually knowing they're into depression, or people actually sensing they're going through something very difficult. They basically just want to be seen as though they have it all together. And so also things like crying a lot, crying a lot and getting angry and overreacting. Small things make you scream out your lungs, small things make you shout, small things make you suddenly go from 0 to 100 and you become rude, you become unbearable, you become just out of control. These are basically things that would actually point out to you that either the condition of your brain has been compromised, which is the health of your brain, it's been compromised, or your mental health is just not at the place where it's meant to be. Yeah. And so the second thing is being overwhelmed, that you find yourself being super overwhelmed by probably your normal to-do list. So things that you normally do with less effort suddenly become very difficult for you to attend to, and so coming out of bed becomes a problem, cleaning your space becomes a problem, going to work becomes a problem, and even when you get to work, you can't just get your mind to focus, and to the tasks of the day. You can't just get your mind to get to that place where you're able to work, you're able to do what it is that is required of you, that you'd actually do on a normal occasion. And so that's basically an indication that things are not right, or things are not the way they should be. The third thing is you forget. Yeah, so you become super forgetful, and you'll have situations where you tend to forget based on how your day has been or how tired you are. But when this becomes a daily thing, and it never was, that you actually get to the situations where you're holding your keys in your hands and you're looking for them, you have your phone in your pocket or in your hands, but you suddenly start just looking for it, you even forget where you've placed some things that are actually not so far. And so you just want to go back and ask yourself, what is this that is actually preoccupying your mind? What is this that's actually taking the space in your brain, to be able to contain information? And so you actually find that you cannot carry information from point A to point B without forgetting. You leave your desk to go to the printer, which is like 2 steps away, and by the time you get to the printer, you can't remember your password. You can't remember what actually you went to do at the printer. The fourth thing is you become super hopeless and you feel defeated. Now, feeling defeated would come from probably trying out things are not working as you'd expect or as you'd want. And so these are probably things like you've tried out relationships and they're not working. You've tried out probably business opportunities as an entrepreneur, and things are just not working for you, or you are in employment and you're trying to get a promotion and you've gone for enough interviews and it's basically not working for you. Now, this is also one of the reasons why many people end up with a disorder called inferiority complex, that you try and try and try to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, you feel defeated. And so when you find yourself at a place where you feel defeated and hopeless, then it's actually time to just maybe recalibrate and try to find out how you can get yourself back together into the place of being hopeful and not feeling defeated. Yeah. And then the other thing is that you become aloner. Yeah, so you actually go the direction of isolation, and you no longer want to be close to people, you no longer want to be around people, you know. And so the presence of many people just makes you feel weird, it makes you uncomfortable, it makes you not yourself, quote unquote. And so that's something to look out for, especially for people who are super bubbly and people who are used to being around people and they love being around people, and suddenly you just don't want to see anybody and you feel like people are a nuisance. And the last point is a change in eating habits. And so you suddenly start to either eat a lot or you suddenly are not able to eat. And that's why we find that many people in such situations either lose a lot of weight or gain a lot of weight. The next point would actually be extreme sadness. And so you find yourself in a point where you're super sad. So you wake up sad, you walk around sad, and everything is basically sad to you. It's like there's this cloud of sadness that suddenly just covers you, and you know, cannot come out, you know, and you know, everywhere you go, it's just dark. Everywhere you go, you just feel like you don't fit in. Everywhere you go, you just feel like you're the odd one out. Yeah, and so you basically get to the point where you even start replaying instances from the past that were actually sad or not nice, that made you sad, so you can be more sad. Think about it, that you now start replaying situations in the past that were not good or not fortunate, that will make you sad. And there's definitely going to be hormonal imbalance, there's definitely going to be low energies because of the drastic change in your eating habits, and also there's going to be things like side effects that are going to manifest through your skin. So these are things like breakouts, and guys, the list can actually be endless. Yeah, and that's basically it for today. Thank you so much for actually watching. Thank you for clicking. You know, I know the fact that you actually clicked, it means you're affected, or someone you know is actually affected, and you're basically looking for a way out. And the good news is that, guys, there's actually a way out. There's such a wide way out of depression, there's such a wide way out of anxiety, there's such a wide way out of mental disorders. Yeah, so on the next video, I'm pretty much gonna concentrate on ways of dealing, ways of coping, and ways of coming out. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking around, guys. I love you, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye and take care.